What's going on, fight fans? Yes, it is finally fight week. It is here. We're only a few more days away, UFC 246. And by the way, don't forget to support your local MMA. We got some big, major fights going on. I'm sure we do in your state, in your country. National broadcast on Friday night. And of course, we're gearing up for the big fight on Friday, UFC 246, the first UFC card of the new year. Like I've said so many times before, so many major good fights from the early prelims to the prelims to the main event, and it's getting real exciting. I've been watching the UFC countdown, and I noticed that I'm not really seeing a lot of Holm material out here lately. Can someone tell me why or where Holm is in any of this fight week hype? I'm not seeing any Holm at all. Maybe I missed it, but we'll see how that fight. That's a big one. That's a big fight to watch out for. It'll be good to see. I think this is the second time that they've gone against each other. So yeah, I haven't really talked about that fight too much, but I'll keep my eye on that one. I still have Anthony Pettis and Carlos Vieira. That's my fight of the night. I did not know that this fight would be moved to the first fight of the night. So that's kind of changes things. I think when you're in the first fight on the card, depending on the matchup, because matchup makes fights. Depending on the matchup, that determines the pace of the fight. It's a 3-round fight. It's the first fight of the night, first fight on the card. So just don't know how that's going to pan out, if it really will live up to my expectations. But what I do expect is for Carlos Vieira to try to submit Anthony Pettis, and I expect Anthony Pettis to try to give us some creative. This is a fight for Anthony Pettis to get creative and really, put a highlight reel out for us. That's what I think he's looking to do, and I think Carlos Vieira knows that. Which it's not a grudge fight, but in my mind, that makes it way more exciting, the fact that Vieira probably thinks he's getting a little bit undermined because this is his first big fight. And he's a nice guy. You got to check him out on the countdown. They did a good job of just showing Fortis Gym and Fortis MMA and Carlos Vieira his growth. I've seen a couple of his fights on YouTube, and much respect to that man. Can't wait to see him compete, and I'm glad that he's finally getting his shine on the big card. Who else is on that card I'm looking at besides Conor McGregor and Cerrone? I guess I'll talk about that for a minute. Man, so I'm sure you saw the interviews with the broadcasters of ESPN. They interviewed Donald Cerrone and Conor McGregor alone, one-on-one interviews. And I thought it was really interesting in Cerrone's interview. A lot of the talk was really questions about Conor McGregor, not really about Cerrone. And he knows he's being undermined, and he knows that he should take the ground to the fight, or take the fight to the ground. But what he says is, look, my team is so solid, we come up with a game plan to actually execute the way I see fit. And that's some real boss moves right there. I think that makes this fight even more exciting, because you can see Cerrone, he was calm the whole interview. There's only certain moments where you could tell he was getting real intense. And the moments that he got the most intense is when he talked about the strategy. And that tells me that he really, really wants this victory. It's not just some people are saying, like a lay down fight. He really wants to make a statement. And just hearing about his journey, I mean, his kickboxing accolades, I probably need to go back and try to find some old Cerrone kickboxing film. But hearing about how him and his team really hone in on the plan that he wants to go with, not the easy way out. It's harder to climb the mountain than it is to take the little dolly that takes you up to the top. He wants to sink his teeth into the mountain and really climb, do it the hard way. So I'm excited. That makes it even more interesting to watch. Conor McGregor, man, I thought his interview was funny because I don't really know Conor McGregor to be a calm individual, and you can see how fidgety he was during the interview. seemed like he just really wanted a moment to jump out the chair and just yell something like "yeehaw" or something crazy. But he stayed composed, and he talked about pretty much the whole 2020 game plan. So it's almost like he's looking past Cerrone. But how are you looking past Cerrone? He's even made comments saying that he could beat Cerrone with the flu. It's like, dang. Even a nice Conor is still an a-hole. Isn't that amazing? Which is great for us, great for the fight fans. So I'm sticking with my prediction. The popular opinion is that McGregor is going to win. If Cerrone wins, I won't be mad. Really, I'm really looking for the Holm Raquel Pennington fight. I want to see who wins that one. The Anthony Pettis fight. Who else is on this card? Olenek, he's on the card, right? Versus Maurice Green. I'm going with Olenek on that one. Claudia, I think she's going to win that fight. And that's it, man. We're going to look at the stats and the numbers afterwards, of course. I'll make a recap video. But, you know, the fight has already started for most of them. For McGregor, the fight's already started. For Cerrone, the fight's already started. Like I said, I'm not really seeing too much from Holm. I see Raquel Pennington in the UFC countdown stuff. And for Anthony Pettis, man, I mean, he kind of came with some distractions talking about the whole USADA lawsuit and all that. It's like, bro, I don't know what that has to do with anything leading up to this fight. It's like, it's a weird flex, but all right, we rolling with Pettis, you know, Team Pettis till the wheels fall off. Shout out to Milwaukee. But hope he stays focused and, you know, just gives me that highlight fight that I think he's going to give us. So, you know, more content coming soon. I appreciate y'all checking out the channel, man. I was gone for like a year, but I'm back now. We're going to get fun. We're going to do some fun things. And stay tuned, man. Anyway, I'm out. Take care.